Hey everybody, welcome to the Ruckus Room. I'm here today with Will, Alan, and Mike, and we're going to be talking about the Kyren Lacy case. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this case or not, but my son, I spent a lot of time with him over the weekend, and he had brought this to my attention, and I went down the rabbit hole, and a lot of new information is coming out these last few days, and this case is wild. And just to give everyone a little bit of a backstory, Kyren Lacy was a top LSU recruit. He had gotten an invite to the NFL Combine. He was going to be one of the top players of the 2025 season. And in December of 2024, he was around what now we know an accident that took place that he somehow got blamed for. In January, he was charged with 3 charges of neglect, homicide, felony hit and run with death and reckless operation of a vehicle. And unfortunately, with everything going on, they took away the NFL Combine invite. He, in April, was getting ready to go to court, and 2 days prior to him actually going to court for the first time, he was involved in a high-speed chase when they tried the cops to bring him in, and he ended up shooting himself in the chest before the cops got to him and killed himself by suicide. This story gives me goosebumps now because after all of these months have gone by and investigations have gone on and his lawyers do their due diligence, they found out he wasn't involved at all in this crime. He was 70 something yards from where the accident took place. There are body cam footage of cops that are coercing people to sign affidavits that didn't sign but gave statements alluding to the fact that the green charger was involved. Come to find out, he had nothing to do with it now. And it's just unfortunate that he felt his life was falling apart. He was publicly criticized and that his only option was to take his own life. And now I kind of just want justice for him. The NCAA is getting involved. There is an independent investigation into this. There are videos all over social media pertaining to this that you guys can watch actual footage yourself and see. He was clearly, you could hear the accident and see him drive around on the other side. He had nothing to do with it. And it's just awful. And yeah, I wanted to know your all's opinion on this.
Why do you think they were blaming him for it?
They were
Why do you think
blaming
they were
him
blaming
for
him
it
for it?
because in the video, after the accident took place, he went around the accident. He didn't stop, but he did go around the accident and then left. When you are watching the body cam footage back, there's so many different people, witnesses saying, I saw a green charger. I saw the green charger. He was involved there. But then the woman who hit the truck from behind clearly says she hit the truck. She never saw a green charger. So even the cop looked discombobulated with all of these, like he was even asking questions. Looked very confused and everything. And I don't understand why they charged him right away and didn't do a better investigation, especially with all the camera footage now coming out that now Kyren Lacy's lawyer has released, along with body cam footage of a cop coercing somebody into a statement saying, can you please put in there the green charger you saw hit that car? So, and he never signed it. He just wrote the statement and never signed it, the witness. So there's a lot of weirdness going on right now with this.
Wow.
Yeah,
They destroyed the guy's life for nothing.
basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know why
Pretty much.
anyone would do something. Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry. I don't know
Yeah.
why one would even think of something day and age to try to do something that stupid, that foolish, where there's closed caption televisions, closed caption cameras, CCTVs. There's body cameras. I mean, even this body camera went off, and it was on at the time when he gave the statement to the or told the witness to, let's say, or coached the witness to tell her how the car hit or how she's supposed to hit her brakes. She had to slam on her brakes. That was just very stupid. I don't know what they were thinking, but when it came down to it, they just had to find someone, I guess, to blame, and it blew up in their face. I guess they didn't realize that there was other
his lawyer,
footage around of this.
Right. It's just crazy to think his lawyer was never going to get footage to say, hey, my client had nothing to do with this. And you think before you come down with some serious charges like that, that you would have done a better job at investigating
Well,
this.
Well, I remember now they have to have investigators from, let's say, the law office, and I've done this plenty of times before, where you have to get in a certain amount of time, maybe under 30 days, and so you can get this video footage. Because if not, it's going to be overwritten, and destroyed. So you wouldn't even have that video footage if they didn't act quickly. So yeah, it's really good on the really good job for the on the lawyer side on defense. But it was sad it was too late because for the mere fact he had a grand jury indictment, that is very serious. I can see why he tried to run, and unfortunately, the poor young man killed himself because a grand jury indictment is pretty much set in stone. The conviction rate is over 90%, well over 90%.
Yeah.
So he felt he lost his NFL invite, and he felt he was going to jail for a number
Oh,
of years, and
oh, prison.
felt his life was over.
Yeah, for the rest of his life. Yeah, prison too. Yeah,
And
that's
that's the whole thing
Prison,
well,
though
yeah.
too. Like the NFL should have done their due diligence to actually let the process play out to where he got a fair run at this because he wasn't guilty. And he kept saying he wasn't guilty. And I don't understand why the NFL did that when I thought part of, this whole thing is innocent until proven guilty, and he was one of the top recruits, and like he was going to be part of the 2025 rookie class, and everybody talked about him at LSU. They were very excited about his future, and I kind of feel like the NFL didn't do their job as to support him when he needed it, also because he was innocent. They just wrote him off.
yeah.
The question would be, did the NFL, I guess, give up and believe that he was guilty
That's what
since
I
he
was. Yes.
Well, that's
since he
what
had the grand jury,
yeah, his
indictment?
Yeah.
agent said that he publicly criticized the NFL because of their lack of due process, stating that Lacy was alienated from his peers and contributed to pressure that he faced before taking his own life. That's what actually led to this, because this was his life. And according to everything that I've read, LSU, there's a woman named Kyren that actually put him into therapy and mental health in February, and was helping him trying to get acclimated to being back with the teammates, making sure he stayed involved with the school so that he didn't fall into a funk until this all cleared up. And she's been very close with his attorney and his agent now to try to see that justice will be served in this.
But don't you think that this is the type of thing that we see all the time today?
Yes.
Something happens, some event like this happens that's newsworthy, okay? They put it out as if it is fact, and the majority of the people believe it. Don't wait
Right.
for all the investigations to be done and complete, okay? So this is not an abnormal event. The tragedy is maybe more abnormal than we hear in a lot of it, but this puts lots of people that are not guilty of what they've done, or less guilty than the charges originally put on, and they've got to deal with that, okay? The pressure, when you're at his level in his sports world, the pressure had to be incredible on himself, okay?
Yeah.
And that's obviously what led him to do the unthinkable and give up. He knew he wasn't guilty. We can all believe that now, knowing what the information is out there. But he wasn't able to deal with it. And whoever was around him wasn't able to help him deal with what he needed to deal with. And the news and all that stuff just made it far more difficult for him to live out what he was trying to live out.
Well, that's
So are
the
they
thing
going
in
to
the
go
beginning.
after the cops?
Yeah, they said they opened an independent investigation. The NCAA did, so they're now doing their own investigation. I'm sure the family is going to do something. His lawyer is actively, trying to get his innocent and justice for Kyren at this point. So there's a lot of moving parts. This is still all the last few days. The video started coming out and people started realizing he had nothing to do with it. So this is all really new. So this will still be a developing story.
So
Um,
what city was this?
Louisiana.
Where did it happen?
It's in the state of Louisiana. It was the
Uh,
Louisiana
I
State
just have the state
Patrol.
of Louisiana off Louisiana Road.
Louisiana is about to lose a lot of money because this guy's potential future in the NFL would be tens of millions of dollars, and the family's going to sue for, the money that for his potential future earnings. I would think,
Sure.
and it's going to bankrupt somebody.
But a
And
lot
he
of
Yep.
could,
people aren't talking about this. And here, a life got lost because he was falsely accused. But we all, I mean, at his pressure, we don't have that. But people have blamed us for stuff. And like, it's real, the pressure when you get falsely accused or blamed for something. And
And
it's
the
just hard.
stupidity of the people today,
Yeah.
they don't want to do their own. They don't want to confirm. They don't want to find. They believe it.
Here.
Used to say if it's in writing, it's true. Now, if you hear it on the news, you hear it on the Facebook, it's got to be true.
Right.
It's this isn't using your innocent until proven guilty theory that our whole judicial system was built on.
Yeah.
I agree with
And
you, and especially when it comes to police reports. There are police reports, then there's the eyewitness reports. There are the eyewitnesses. Then there's a lot of gray area. So mostly there's the truth in between those two: the police report and the witnesses, and there's the real truth in between there. And that's sad, but that's usually how it goes. And the cops are going
it
to right through.
sounded to me. It sounds to me from what Chrissy's been reading to us is that the cops wanted a guy so they could end it quick and go get a donut. I don't know, but
it's what it sounds
Pretty
like
much
because, I
obviously
mean,
they
I don't
want.
know how. I don't know as a prosecutor how you can't see that video footage, hear the body cams from the police, know the cops were completely confused after talking to some of these witnesses on these body cams, and there's not one story or or something that shows that that green Charger ever was involved in that accident. That's just
Right.
crazy to me.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
that's
well,
sad.
the other thing we're gonna, switch gears because I have Will and his expertise in this, but Jack Smith and Biden's DOJ yesterday it was released that declassified FBI documents revealed there was a whistleblower that came forward and said that Biden's administration had disclosure of phone surveillance on 8 GOP senators: Lindsey Graham, Marsha Blackburn, Ron Johnson, Josh Hawley, Cynthia Loomis, Bill Haggerty, Dan Sullivan, and Tommy Tuberville, which are all Republicans, to see if they had anything to do prior to the January 6th event that took place. And wow, this is the start of it. I don't think we've heard the end of this yet. And I think the FAFO of this administration is going to get to the bottom of this real quick.
Well, I guess they're going to try to say that if they have a subpoena for these records, it would be legal to tap these lines if there's a subpoena due to, let's say, the the labeled of the insurrection label to the so-called investigation or into a so-called insurrection.
Yeah, I believe that they'll probably use that as their lifeline, so to speak, to
Yep.
get out. But if we, if and who knows at that point, we all know that a lot of that was fabricated. I mean, the
Yep.
the Capitol Police opened the doors to let the people in, and that kind of thing, and then claimed that they broke in. Maybe they did break in some windows. Maybe they did some. I mean, the whole thing was stupid. But
Right.
they're going to use that excuse as their way out, saying that they weren't high enough up the ladder to know that Nancy Pelosi wouldn't allow the extra National Guard and all that kind of stuff going on. A lot of things are still coming out about January 6th, and I think a lot more is going to come out.
Yeah, you can't open a door and say come in and charge someone with trespassing or, you know, no, you
Yeah,
can't.
and destroy their lives in the process.
Right, of course, of course.
Exactly.
But this is just going after, they continue to go after for political gains, that whole group. I mean, and it's amazing that they sat there today in the hearings with Pam Bondi, and they're sitting there saying, well, what about the Epstein files and what about this? Yet there's bigger stuff going on that looks like political, it was involved in some of this stuff. And clearly, it'll be curious. I'll be curious to see at the top who ordered this. Was it Jack Smith? Was it Biden? Was it his administration? I mean, I don't know how much Biden was really involved in his 4 years, or if he just had his puppets doing it at this point. Um,
Yeah.
Kamala Harris
so
was in charge of
you think she's
Biden.
going to be involved with this?
I don't know if she'll be involved with this, but she was making the decisions for Biden. I mean,
Yeah, Biden
uh,
was out of it.
yeah, no, Biden wasn't doing anything. He
Right,
didn't know where he was.
right, right.
Well, they said this is an unconstitutional breach that is worse than Watergate if everything comes out.
No, of course they're going to
What
say
do you,
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what do you think,
But
Alan? You think it is?
do I think it's worse than Watergate? I think Watergate was not trumped up, but a blown up uh, ordeal that I think everybody was doing all of the stuff that Nixon got blamed for, but Nixon got caught,
Right,
and
right.
so they blew it up to have a point and have a scapegoat, and that's the politics is dirty.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
they're all play both sides. Everybody is playing dirty. This isn't just one side being dirty over the other side being dirty. Everybody's being dirty. The thing is that that right now all of the fat is coming to the surface, and we're finding out that in this instance, in the Pfizer warrant stuff, and all of that the Democrats were really playing super dirty for a while, beyond what I believe the Republicans were playing, although the Republicans have played dirty in the past. But they all of this started with Hillary Clinton's making this Russian dossier, and then
Mhm.
the FBI, knowing it wasn't real, still going along with it, and started
Collusion.
this massive rift and collusion. Yes, and it is. Everything that happened was against the Constitution, but the
Right.
problem is anybody's head going to roll for it? And
No,
I question that. Yeah,
no.
I don't think so either, because they're all guilty of all of it
All of them.
Well, Pam
at
Bondi
one
did
point or
say
another.
today there's 63 open active investigations. They were trying to blame her for Comey, saying President Trump just wanted her to go after Comey. That's why he got federally indicted, which is not true at all, because those investigations have been open since this office took place in January. So it's, I don't know. They're trying to spin the narrative on her again today, but 63 active investigations on a lot of the Biden administration and a lot of corruption that it'll be interesting to see.
Well, in the end, if they point the finger and blame everything on Biden, what are they going to do to the guy? He's probably doesn't have much time left. He doesn't know where he is, and he'd be a great scapegoat for it all.
You
But
bet.
but the perpetrators for it aren't gonna. I don't think the real perpetrators are gonna get in trouble. They're
I
gonna
don't know.
point
You
to
don't
No.
one
think they have
person.
something on Hillary? They don't
They
have
already
anything on
have stuff
Hillary or
on
something?
Hillary. They already have
Yeah.
stuff. They have Hillary's, secret server in her linen closet or whatever it was at her house. She broke up all the cell phones and the what was whatever the handheld things were called.
You
I don't
know,
remember
Black.
anymore.
Hunter's been pardoned,
Blackberries,
but
yeah.
he's been pardoned, but you said they could charge him on a regular
State
level, though,
level.
right? A
State
state
level.
level.
A federal pardon does not protect you from a state
Right.
indictment.
That's
But
right.
you got to have some state that's willing to do it and put their neck on the line to do it. And you know, nobody's standing up so far.
Does anybody believe we'll ever know the truth?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Well,
think we
no,
might find
no.
out some things we might not know yet. I
Yeah,
know
right
there's
after
some
we
stuff
find out
that
what
was
happened with JFK.
Again.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Again.
and
I
also
Again.
don't
like
know. It'll be
just
interesting.
investigate it all. Just check it all
Yeah.
out. Epstein, JFK, everything. Release
Well,
it all.
listen, we all know we live on a flat Earth, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Some more than others, Mike.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's scary that some people believe that.
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, National Guard was sent out to Chicago today. She did confirm that, so this was going to be interesting the next few
Well, I
weeks.
heard, I heard that they're trying to put an injunction against it, and Trump today was saying he'll just sign an executive order for what was it, insurrection?
Insurrection.
Something like
Yep.
that. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
insurrection, and they go anyway. I don't understand when you have cities that are burning from the inside. Chicago, with every weekend,
Portland.
half of the city of Chicago, Portland, Oregon. Yeah, they're. I don't understand why the governors and mayors of those cities are, like we discussed yesterday, are opposed to having help to straighten things out unless they're on the take from the people that are going to get taken down.
I
And
think a lot.
that's the truth.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of it started with the defunding the police of the police departments. That was a horrible idea about removing funding from the police agencies, which you need to have more competent, more or well-trained police officers and more funding, not less.
What
Um,
about the bounties on ICE agents and their families? Did you see that? $2,000 if you can bring them or show them where these people are. $10,000 if you kill them. They actually came out and said that today. I think, and their children, they want their children. That's insane. And the fact that they're getting away with this and they're not all getting locked up, and I just, I don't know. It's getting crazy. I'm really
that,
worried
that,
about where
Well,
we're going.
when you can make those types of public declarations and not be arrested for it or some other type of
Yeah,
no arrested for it, then you realize how broken the system is.
right.
Yes.
it's bad.
Should be able to just run up to the person that did that because remember, you're accused of being one of the head leader or one of the people masterminds of was it January 6th? You know, you were Alan, right?
No, I was
I don't.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
No, I thought
Oklahoma.
someone did say you were at January 6th too, Alan.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right. I was
you're
accused
involved
of.
in both.
I was investigated by the FBI for being up at January 6th, even though I never left
Yeah.
Suffolk County.
Right.
You remember when that
But
nice
and
little
that was
black Tahoe showed up
and that was
to question you?
politics. Dirty
can't even make this
politics.
shit
Dirty
up.
politics.
That was former Mayor Alfin's campaign. I'm not saying he did it, but people in his campaign did it.
We got to watch out now that Mike's been on some of these conservative shows. We don't need them showed up to his house saying he was involved with something shady either.
Let me tell you, they don't want to show up at my house. Right,
Okay.
We make sure you go for the center of the chest this time.
Don't say anything more. Don't say anything more.
You know what? It were like 7, maybe 6 rounds straight to the chest first. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think good shot. It's
No,
pretty
I
good.
have
Yeah.
I have a trained cat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. What's it like a
I wanted to ask you guys real quick
Bobcat?
too. I watched something about Charlie Kirk, and they were talking about the gun laws real quick, and how everybody, like today, especially watching the judiciary hearings, they kept saying they want tougher gun laws. And Charlie Kirk said something that was kind of, makes you think, because that's what he did. He says, that's like saying to everyone, there's 50,000 car accidents a year. We got to stop driving to prevent the accidents from happening. And I thought that was pretty profound when he kind of, did that with the guns too. And I just want to know what you guys think about that, because today they definitely hit Pam Bondi at the judiciary hearings with a lot of we need tougher gun laws. We don't want anyone to have ARs. Everybody needs to be over 21. And kind of want to just know what your feelings are on that real quick.
The first thing is, unless you're willing to enforce the current rules and laws, adding new ones aren't going to make a difference. Okay? There's enough law on the books, statewide and nationwide, that takes care of all those concerns. Over with their concerns. There's a lot of those that still need to be dropped down. I mean, the whole world still thinks AR means automatic rifle.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, and all this is the initials of the manufacturer. So
Right.
education is when it comes to that. But
And
no,
they're going after the AR-15 because it's black.
Yeah.
And
yes,
it looks like a military weapon, whereas a 30-06 deer hunting rifle
puts a nice
is
big hole in you.
is
Oh,
far
Yeah, it does.
more. It's
Much
it's
bigger.
just people are stupid. I've been
Right.
saying people are stupid forever, and people are stupid, and they
Yes.
don't understand what's going on. And you're right, Mike. If they would enforce the laws they already have, but the big thing that they keep talking about, and people are stupid enough again to listen to it, is a criminal doesn't care what the law is, because
Of
if
course.
they did,
Right.
they wouldn't be a criminal.
That's
So
right.
they're not going to care. They're going to take the guns away from law-abiding citizens, and it's been said many times, and only the criminals will have guns. That's the way it will be.
Yeah, you got
Look
30.
at look at the world of drugs. You can take all the druggies, take all the pushers, put them in jail, do all this stuff. Does it go away?
No, never.
No,
No.
The
it
war
doesn't
on
go away
drugs has
because
been
the
going on
crooks.
how long?
Yeah, the crooks are smarter. They know how to take care of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not the answer.
The
Well, I'm
answer
going
is
to close
mental
out.
health.
Yeah, exactly. People, and they need to alert those. They need to, like, a lot of families are still downplaying the serious mental health issues that they see in family members to protect them. But actually, you can see it's backfired on several, especially the assassination of Charlie Kirk, where that was a huge red flag. He had voiced in discords and to his family how he did not like him. That's just one example. But
And
this,
if we go back, a few years, like about, I don't know, 15 years or so, maybe 20 years, under Obama, he did a major push on getting rid of funding for mental health facilities and closing down mental health
They sure
facilities.
did.
Yeah. And we are now reaping what was sowed back then.
And when they closed them down, they had no place to go but the street.
Right.
So
Yeah.
street crime got doubled at that point in time.
And now there's no place for people that have mental health issues to go to receive help. So now we're here.
yeah.
I know I lived up in Rhode Island during that period of time when they closed the state mental health facilities. They put buses out there and sent them all to different places.
Wow.
So are
I'm
you
not
for
talking
bringing
about I'm not talking about other facilities. I'm talking about other states.
So are you
Okay.
for
Open the
bringing
doors,
insane
get
asylums
out.
back? Is what you're saying? They had all
Huh?
the
No,
insane
well, not
asylums, and they
insane
took them
asylums,
away.
but mental health facilities where people can actually go and get help.
Treatment.
Rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not asylum. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to just lock them up for being.
Well, this brings me to my last thing that we'll close with real quick. Mainland High School a few weeks ago says that they're going to start putting metal detectors in their school. Volusia County is starting to put them in their high schools. Brings me to, don't you think we should have those in Flagler County, especially since, Alan, we've been talking about guns in schools, or kids bringing guns to schools or knives the last few months. It's been a lot, for our sheriff's department. Don't you think that would help out? And I don't understand why we can't do that here.
So let me say this. A few years ago, but I think it was probably 3 years ago now, there was a gentleman, a friend of mine, that was at a city council meeting. I happened to be at the city council meeting too, the Palm Coast City Council meeting. And he left the main meeting room and went out into the hallway. And at the city council meetings, after the proclamations and all the other stuff in the beginning is done, a lot of people leave the meeting. So a whole bunch of people left the meeting, and he thought the meeting was over. So he walked back in, and he walked up towards the dais because he wanted to talk to somebody up there, and everybody freaked out at the dais. The guy was taken out, and he was trespassed. And they were so upset about it. The city council was so upset about it, and that was under Mayor Holland, that she had metal detectors installed in City Hall. So City Hall has metal detectors to protect the city
I
council.
think our kids need to be protected, our
Why
children.
not?
And
Why
if
not?
other schools in surrounding counties are doing it, I don't know why we're not on board with this, especially since you've seen what has gone into our Flagler County schools, especially the last few years.
I don't understand why. Well, first off, I think, and I hate to put it this way, but I think if you speak to most Republicans, nobody would be opposed to it. And if you speak
Yeah.
to most Democrats, it's some type of civil rights infraction or some type of crap until in our county, the first gun gets shot in a school and somebody gets hurt or worse. And then the Democrats will blame the Republicans and the guns. And it's just
I just,
stupid.
I will. I just
I
think it
keep
should be
calling people
bipartisan at
stupid.
this point.
People are stupid.
Right, Will?
Well,
This
It
is
should
just a
be
bipartisan
bipartisan.
issue. Yeah,
Just
it's
do
just
it.
keeping
What's
our
the
kids
harm?
safe.
we
What's
need
the
a
harm? Just do it.
police department there too as well. Like, Flagler, maybe a Flagler County School Board Police Department that's just stationed there at the schools.
I think they have Flagler County Sheriff deputies as resource officers
Right.
They
at
do.
the schools.
As
And
They do, but that doesn't. But that
no,
doesn't help. They've got them
exactly.
at the. I mean, they're the felons that walk into the courthouse to go to their court hearings are more safe than our children who walk into school, and that the one kid gets a wild hair up his ass is bringing in a gun. I mean, this just happened 3 weeks ago at FPC.
Yep.
Um,
No
and then
argument.
the one kid
True.
at Matanzas. So it's. I feel I don't know what we can do, but with Mainland
Put
doing
up the
stuff
metal
like this,
detectors. Just do it.
I just feel we should push something to have that done.
you need to have like another department underneath the sheriff's office where they're actually just purposely only for that purpose would be school
Yeah.
police, like they do in Duval, where they have let's say Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, but then they have the Duval County School Board Police Department. These are actually officers that don't do anything else other than just school issues, even investigate crimes that have happened there, and they have detectives. I think 1 or 2 detectives there, and there's just they have specialized units. I think it needs to be well funded and well staffed.
Well,
Yeah.
the Flagler County Courthouse has metal detectors.
Yep.
Palm Coast
Exactly.
City Hall has metal detectors. There's
Yep.
absolutely no reason
Too.
the
Yeah.
schools can't have metal detectors.
Oh yeah, I'm saying they need metal detectors too. I'm just saying
Oh,
add
yeah, but no, I agree with what you said. But the metal detector, that can be your first line of defense.
How do we get
There's
this
no
on the
reason not
docket
to
at
do
the
it.
next council meeting? I mean, this is
Well,
some serious.
it
We
would
have
be
to get
school
in this.
board meeting to have it. It would
Hey,
be
listen,
through the school board.
the big box
Yeah.
stores have them to track people leaving without paying.
that's true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's metal
Yeah.
detectors.
So it's not like they're not available.
Yeah.
And
Well,
anyway,
thanks, guys. I know we're running out of
people are
time, but
stupid.
thank you guys for coming on the show today, and we will see you next week.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye everyone.
Ciao.